What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Metaplanet with the ticker symbol 3350 and MTPLF. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So we're seeing a nice little short-term bottom for Metaplanet. Maybe this will be the permanent bottom. Who knows for sure, but the technicals are still bearish, so that's what we need to go off of. We're still below the bearish trend line, and we're still below the EMA. So until we can see a decisive break above these levels, there's a good chance that we still see lower prices, maybe back down all the way to 694 or 700 yen. So that's what the chart is telling me. Let's take a look at the other ticker symbol, MTPLF. MTPLF. This one, similar structure. This one had a bigger bounce from that low. So it's trying to move up higher, but the bearish momentum is still in play below the trend line, below the EMA. This one might be coming back down towards 517, which was the breakout zone and the prior all-time high. So there's also a gap that can be filled as well at that level. So it looks like we could be seeing more downside, but it's not guaranteed. But we need to go with what we see off the technicals, not just some feeling. Some traders are probably starting to average in because they believe that we're going to reverse very soon, and that's why we're starting to see a little bit of bounce here. But it looks like bearish momentum can still override that and drop down to $5 before potentially seeing a bigger reversal higher. So let's go back to 3350 Metaplanet on the daily chart. So yeah, let's see what happens. If Bitcoin starts moving up higher, maybe this will help pull the stock price up, and we have seen an early bottom. But other than that, it looks like it's still trying to track its way down. Looking at the log scale on the weekly chart, let's remove all the drawings. It's a nice, beautiful uptrend, very strong. Price was just due for a pullback, which is not a big deal. Maybe coming back to this trend line right here, or we can start a steeper one, but the trend line is very close. And maybe just another drop down lower, and then we'll go from there. But it was due for a pullback because of that overextension. But price is still making higher highs, higher lows in the long term. So, for example, just because we're dropping is not a big deal, because why wasn't this the top right over here? Because we did drop pretty substantially, but price continued higher. So it was still a correction. You see that price was trying to still work its way up. The correction did not turn into a reversal. There's two different things. There's a reversal and a pullback. A pullback and a correction are the same thing, and they're just profit-taking areas, or short-term taking a break for higher prices. So we have nice higher highs, higher lows. Short-term, most likely a bottom here, and then move up higher for another new high of the trend. I'm tracking for this prior peak right here, right around 5,500, 6,000 yen. And then we'll go from there. So all I have for Metaplanet on the daily and weekly charts. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.